Hello, good afternoon, both meetings.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon po. Kumustahin ko lang po yung audio namin kung loud po, clear po. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you po. Good afternoon po.
Ano pangalan niya, Bebe?
Afternoon, yes, Mr. Chair, we have a quorum with attendance of the following BAC members: Attorney Mark Manuel, Chairperson, Attorney Dana Caramillo, and Attorney Diane Steck, regular members, Mr. Ronaldo Amboy, representing Mr. Eric Maculangan, provisional member. Likewise, we have in attendance the members of the technical working group and members of the BAC secretariat. Likewise, we have representatives from each end users from HRMD, Miss Victoria Corre and Miss Vina. Iniisip ko pa. On the part of the prospective leaders, we have representatives for the annual report, Mode Matrix Manila Incorporated, via Zoom, For the motor vehicles, we have representative from Toyota Pasong Gamo Incorporated. And for the cargo handling operator systems, we have representatives from Diversified. And also from Toyota naman, we have representative from Toyota.
Thank you, President, for going. The chair declares that there is a quorum with BAC-PGCS number 083A-2023 on board.
We have 3 items in our agenda, Mr. Chair. Number 1 is the credit conference for the following projects: procurement of service provider for the design, layout, manuscript preparation, copy editing, proofreading, and printing of the CY 2023 annual report. Supply and delivery of motor vehicles for port management offices, procurement of development and implementation of specialized application for the integration of Philippine Port Authority and cargo handling operator systems. Number 2 in the agenda, the deliberation on the request for consideration of Dell's Apparel Corporation for the provision and delivery of CY 2023 PTA official uniforms is cancelled, considering that Dell's Apparel Corporation did not submit a request for consideration on their field rating. Number 3 in the agenda is the field evaluation report of the provision and delivery of CY 2023 PTA official uniforms.
Thank you. Let's object to that.
For the procurement of service provider for the design, layout, manuscript preparation, copy editing, proofreading, and printing of the CY 2023 PTA annual report with an approved budget for the contract of 1,780,000 pesos. We have 1 prospective bidder attending via Zoom, Mode Matrix Manila Incorporated.
Good afternoon. Mode Matrix Manila Incorporated.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Can you turn on your camera? Mode Matrix. Yes, good afternoon. For the record, you are. Can you hear us?
Nakamute. Kayo. Philippine Ports, nakamute.
Di ba? Mode Manila. Mode Matrix Manila. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, for the record, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Cory Limbo from Mode Matrix and
Crystal
Joining me.
Tampus po.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions for us?
regarding the terms of reference,
Yes, that is correct.
actually, we're kind of familiar naman po. But there are some items that we just like to make, to clarify, no?
Okay.
Yes, this is under the photo shoot. Because it says here that there will be at least 2 ports each of the following cluster. Can we identify how many and where?
One of the main user. Can we identify the ports and the location?
The number of ports.
Mr. Chair, as of now, we cannot yet determine the specific reports because we have two as the approval of the management if these reports will be the ones to be featured in our annual report based on the approved fee report.
Okay. So Mode Matrix Manila, as of now, the end user cannot identify the ports which will be featured, since this will have to be done in coordination with the management, which will be done closer to the year.
But in terms of how many ports, do you have an idea? Because our cost will also matter in
Yes.
terms of the expenses, on how many ports that we will be visiting.
Mr. Chair, based on our TO, we will be featuring 10 ports, 2 ports each for each cluster, and another photo shoot for the head-on. So for a total of 11 sections. 10 ports po. So 10 ports.
10 ports plus the head office.
Plus the head.
So 11 locations.
Yes.
So 11 locations. 10 ports.
So that will be 10 ports plus how many
Yeah.
days for the head office, for the officers?
Yes po.
How many days?
How it makes the
For the head office po, based on experience, we only conduct the photo shoot for 1 day, provided that the available of the officers, especially board members and the PWG members are present.
Okay. So it has been a practice that the photo shoot for the officers present in the head office is conducted one day.
Yes. But at max we can set is around 1 to 3. So
Okay. So in practice, it is finished in one day. However, for purposes of keeping for your purposes, maybe it's best you estimate 1 to 3 days. At least at most 3 days. Oh, it's just a meeting.
Because usually on other clients that we have, we usually or normally do the photo shoot during their board meeting.
Yes, that's also the practice here. The photo shoot is scheduled together with the board. Any further questions?
Okay. So can we go to the production and color proofing item?
Okay.
It says here on your specification, technical specification, that you have a packet for the cover.
Yes po, Mr. Chair. The packet is for the CD. Usually we have the copy of the annual report CD for it, but this is optional po.
Yes. No.
Yes po, we can talk with this with service provider whether or not we will commit with or
So it's still no option.
it will
Optional lang po ito. Okay.
Yes.
And then you mentioned also here the process is offset or equivalent. So what do you mean by equivalent?
This po is a minimum of, these are the minimum requirements by the PPE, but we will also rely on the, what do you call this, proposal of the service provider. So generally, we will have it at offset the process, but if you think that practice now based on different demand on annual on corporate reporting, if it's necessary or not, we will also base our decision on your recommendations.
Uh, are you pertaining if it's digital? Because offset is a 4-color printing. Now others do it. Let's say if we have a minimum number of quantity like 100 or like it says here 150. So some companies opted to do a digital. So that is the equivalent that we are pertaining. So there's just two, offset and digital printing.
Yes po.
So meaning agency has an option to do an offset or a digital because there's a difference in terms of color. Magkaiba po yun.
Yes po. Our decision will be based also on your proposals. Isasabit po na theme proposal, including the process and color. If you find na this kind of process is better, then we will take it into consideration.
Sige. Let's see, no? As maybe kung kami manalo, we'll see. But of course, we will always propose an offset printing rather than a digital. Magkaiba kasi ang kulay nun eh. Mas maganda ang offset.
Yeah, sorry, good afternoon, if I may. This will depend on the implementation phase na, no? So whatever would be agreed upon between the service provider and us, the corporate development department, depending on the theme, the design that you would, that the winning bidder may propose to us, then we could discuss further which one would be best for the report.
Yes. And then also, for the, maybe you can also work on this, no, yung special paper. If we will be using a special kind of paper, kasi yan ang trend ngayon. We use something like environmental paper or recycled paper. So we don't use any lamination anymore. So we have to take that out if you wanted a special kind of paper. Kasi mako-confuse lang yun eh. So if we use a special paper, we have to take out any lamination. Kasi yung look and feel of the paper will be automatically out kasi sayang ang ganda ng special paper. So we have to be specific on that. If we use a special paper, we take out any lamination.
Yes po. We will consider your proposal, the proposal of the meeting service provider.
We will consider your comment and this will be discussed by the later.
Yes, and then also, for the envelope, there is no 120. It's only 80. So we have to change this also.
Walang matindi. We note your comment. Thank you.
It should be book 80. Book 80 lang. I think those are the things lang naman na that needs to be changed.
Thank you.
And as for the requirements that we need to submit during the bidding, we will have to submit 3 printed corporate annual reports. This is public and private, so we can send a government or any private AR.
Yes, that is correct.
And then another question is, a photocopy of a contract evidencing that the service provider has completed within the last 10 years. Sir, paano kung wala na kaming contract because it's 10 years ago?
Hindi, within the period. So, pwede naman last year, hindi man more than 10 years. So, yun yung maximum period.
So we just submit yung mga recent na lang.
Yes, din yung period, hindi kailangan 10 years ago yung pagkakata.
Sir, ang certificate ba you don't honor? Kasi sometimes, once we finish a certain project, we always ask our clients a certification of completion. Can you honor that?
Technical end user. Instead of a contract, especially SLCC pa requirement.
Aside, sir, sa SLCC, nire-require ng end user na mag-submit sila ng copy ng contract.
Kailangan pa ba yun? I-consider may contract sa SLCC?
Ano na yun? Yung ano na yun?
Aside from the SLCC,
Isa lang.
a photocopy of a contract evidencing that the service photocopy.
Sa SLCC na actually yung contract referred to. So this is also under
So, okay, so that refers to the SLCC. So, the reference to a photocopy of the contract, the submission of a contract in order to comply with the SLCC requirement is sufficient. So, there's no additional contract. Technical routine is check the QR.
Okay. So you will,
One moment. Yes.
Sir, based on the form for the statement of the bidder's largest completed contract, the attachment to the statement should include end user's acceptance or official receipts or sales invoice issued for the contract.
Not the contract itself.
Sa statement, sir, not ang contract itself, pero kasi yung provision sa TOR, the end user is required na
The
isang
contract itself. Will be required or okay na yun. So, we'll remove that requirement.
But even that.
Okay. We will be issuing a bid bulletin removing the requirement of the contract. So, you just comply with the requirements provided for in the form regarding the SLCC, wherein you must attach the certificate of acceptance or delivery receipt. Any further questions?
Sir, one last na lang question under, again, sa production color proofing. 5.2, submission of PPA of a minimum 3 pre-production mock-ups and digital proof. Sir, ito yung colored proof na tinatawag natin. Because normally, ang binibigay lang po talaga ng printer is only one.
5.2,
So, nakalagay sa amin 3.
3, pre-production problems.
So, binigay sa statement.
Usually po, the two free mock-ups po comes from the service manufacturer, but not the printer.
Okay, so there are 2 mock-ups prior to it being sent to the printer.
Yes po. Then the final one to be approved and signed by the end user.
And you guys are printer, but yes po. Okay, so the concept here is prior to the final mock-up being sent to the printer, there are 2 initial mock-ups which will be reviewed by the agency before it is finalized. What happens if after the first mock-up, okay na sa inyo, so ito lang yung require the second mock-up?
We will require the final.
Yes, okay. So they will submit a mock-up, you will review. If there are changes to be made, you will require the submission of additional mock-up. And that is the final mock-up before it is approved and sent to the printer for printing and the submission for mock-up. Did you get that? Old matrix. Did you get that? So you make a mock-up. It's reviewed by the corporate planning department. If they have comments, suggestions, which requires additional review and additional submission, you incorporate the changes and submit another mock-up. This will be the final mock-up which they can correct before it is sent to the printer, and the printer will produce their mock-up. So the quality of the first two mock-ups are up to par as a printer mock-up. So parang draft lang talaga ng mock-up.
The reviews, the two is for all consistency, the
Just
So parang print out lang yung isa na mock-up. Hindi yung print quality ng mock-up.
more on the.
yes.
So pinakita ng a general look and feel of the annual report before it is sent to the printer to produce the mock-up. Malinaw po?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other questions?
On our end, no more, sir.
Okay, thank you. We have a presentation of reminders regarding common issues which the bank has observed during procurement. Please stay until the end of the other meeting conferences para makamit niyo. May mga other reminders kami na via a presentation after all the previous conferences. So we'd like to request that you stay online. Okay? Okay, Secretary, thanks.
Sir,
For the information of the prospective bidder, the submission and opening of bids for the annual report is on November 20, 2023. The deadline for submission of the bid documents is at 9 a.m. The opening of bids is at 10 a.m. November 20, 2023.
Okay, let's proceed to the next previous conference.
For the supply and delivery of motor vehicles for port management offices, the project was posted on the PPA and Projects websites on 27 October 2023 with an approval budget for the contract of 76,250,000 pesos. For this project, we have number 1 on the list, Toyota Paso Incorporated, Mr. Mike Rivera.
Yeah. Any questions?
Really dun sa, final destination of the game, na their explanation for the dito sa center.
Ano yung ginawa? Yan lang dito, tapos makikita.
So, ang dilim na po lang. Remaining kasi isang lot lang po siya. So, hindi kami pwedeng sumahin either one or either.
Isang lang naman ba?
Isang lot.
Any further questions? Okay. Secretary?
Sorry po. Kaya sa delivery schedule, ito yung pa-extend po, 150.
Ano current research plan? What is the current?
Within 120 calendar days from receipt of the notice.
Okay, so I'll request you is 150. So we will discuss that later. And back at the set the eligible issues that we will retain that.
And then service certification po, pwede po yung the dealer which is 26 years for the business.
Certification, ISO certification.
Yeah, yung length in the business.
The manufacturer po is 30 years. Dealer po kasi is 20 years.
Authorized dealer of brand new, yun ba yung certification? 30 years in the business.
Even though we're requesting. I'll request by 2026. Any further questions?
Last, yung ISO certification po, ay pwede mo bang either or pwede yung environmental.
Ang requirement po ng end user is that the bidder should submit the two ISO certifications, the original in a separate envelope should be open.
So hindi optional. Hindi. So hindi either.
No, sir.
So the requirement now is full. Okay? Yeah.
Sir,
Take one.
Thank you.
Okay, next is from Toyota Alabang, Mr. R.C. Medin.
Chair, question lang po dun sa item F, dun sa schedule of issues. Provisions in terms of the battery, safety 3 as far as yun po kasi isang unit dito, dalawa lang yung airbag. Yung van, dalawa lang po ang airbag. Yung pong dun sa pwede, ano po, tatlong po yung isa. Pero nabasa ko naman po yung ano, so nabakang po ng calories.
We will note your comment and we will discuss your requirement and your statement regarding the number of
Nakastate naman po dun sa yung mismong specification.
the move.
Kulang po talaga yun. Ano naman po nakalagay din sa ano, baka lang po na
Ano do sa taas.
ito po, yung item F, meron na po sa yung safety 3 airbags. Yung po isang unit, 3 airbags talaga. Pero yung po van, dalawa lang po talaga yung airbags.
All that.
Hindi ba natin po?
Any further comments?
That's all.
Sige. Okay.
Certification kaya tayo to SR bags, SRS bars, bags.
Nakalagay, pero wala kasi yung sabi.
Yun lang siya.
Sa mismo specification yung brand specification.
SRS 3 SRS airbags for the
Ito po ma'am, yung
high-size pickup with roof.
Opo, tatlo po yun.
Oo.
Ito po ano, yung sa vans na nakalagay.
Yung sa passenger van, kasi nakalagay driver lang, well, passenger, so dalawa.
Dalawa lang po. Yung po kasi dun sa isa, tatlo, merong knee airbag. So, driver, knee airbag, tapos passenger, isa. So, total of 3. Clarification.
We have representatives from Nissan, Commonwealth, and wala. Saan ito na?
Same lang na
Okay, so wala. Sa Barangay din. For the information of the prospective leaders, the submission.
Hindi mo kaya na
The submission and office of the technical and financial proposals for the motor vehicles is on November 20, 2023. The deadline for submission is at 1 p.m. The opening of bids is at 2 p.m. November 20 to 2023.
Thank you. Let's proceed to the last meeting conference.
For the procurement, development, and implementation of specialized application for the integration of Philippine Ports Authority and cargo handling operators systems. The project was posted on the PDA and Williams websites on 27 October 2023 with an approved budget for the contract of 3,300,000 pesos. For this project, we have from diversified.
They were trying any questions. No questions.
No
She
question.
like to acknowledge the president. Is very basic. Kasi hindi lang ako.
Huwag kayo nasahan mo kasi
Kasi sila
Well, mandates.
nagsasabi ko na for this project, the submission and opening of bids is on November 21, 2023. The deadline for submission is at 1 p.m. The opening of bids is at 2 p.m. November 21, 2023.
Thank you. Let's proceed with the presentation.
sabi nandiyan na yun.
Ako, ma'am.
Kasi sa bridges.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Here are some important reminders for the prospective bidders. Number 1. On the submission of bid documents. Bidders shall submit their bid documents in 2 separate sealed bid envelopes. The first envelope is the technical proposal containing 7 copies, 1 original and 6 duplicate copies, each individually wrapped in an envelope, then sealed in an outer envelope. The second envelope is the financial proposal, which contains 7 copies, 1 original and 6 duplicate copies, each, likewise individually wrapped in an envelope, and shall all be sealed in an outer envelope. The bid documents shall be hardbound, book-bound, properly labeled, with index tabs. Failure to comply with the requirement is a ground for the automatic disqualification of the bidder. Number 2. The bidder shall ensure that all Class A eligibility documents listed in Annex A of the Certificate of PhilGAP's registration, Platinum membership, are current and updated. The bidders are not allowed to submit as part of its technical proposal the Class A eligibility document. The same should be submitted to PhilGAPs. For the information of all bidders, the head of the TPA procurement entity is J. Daniel R. Santiago. For the procurement of goods and consultancy services, the chairperson of the BAC is Attorney Mark John S. Palomar. Vice chairperson is Angelina A. Liose. Regular members are Josephine M. Napiare, Attorney Dana S. Jaramillo, and Attorney Diane Steffi Sigiliamon. While provisional member is Eric E. Di Maculangan. Technical Working Group Head is Michi F. Manathad, and the members are Rogeline K. Mendoza, Sharon E. Oliveros, Edwin Rita P. Estilon, Milagros Lourdes P. Perez, and Aida T. de la Cruz. BAC Secretariat Head is Attorney Lolita D. Santos, and the members are Darlene V. Ambay, Arlene D. Papustan, and Audrey C. Kenya. Take note that, if you are a relative within the 3rd civil degree of affinity and consanguinity of the Hope, the BAC chairperson, the BAC members, the technical working group, and the BAC secretariat, you are disqualified from participating in the procurement activity of TPA. Thank you.
Any last questions from prospective bidders? Hold the matrix. Any questions? DM Corey, any questions? Okay, that ends the payment conference portion of our agenda. Prospective bidders are Let's proceed to the next item of our agenda.